Greetings, deep, masterful, controlling Scorpio. My name is Eliane Nicole. I'm an astrologer and tarot card reader, and now I'm going to do the November 2020. Oh, that wasn't a great shuffle. Now I'm going to do the November 2020 forecast for the sign of Scorpio. And I'm going to start with a tarot reading, and then in the second half of the video, I'm going to talk about some of the planetary transits for the month of November. And I recommend that you follow me on Instagram at astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole, where I fill in details as the month unfolds with more specifics about the planetary transits and all of those things. In my stories and in my feed. But this is good to get a brief overview of what to expect. And you can watch the videos for, if you have a day chart, watch the video for your sun and rising here. And if you have a night chart, watch the video for your moon and rising. Because the moon is your more significant luminary, or more stronger acting luminary if you were born with a night chart. So anyway, as we enter the month of November, Scorpio, you have the Lovers. So it looks like there is romance happening for Scorpio at the beginning of November. And you are covered by the Moon reverse. So I don't know, maybe there was something unexpected that happened at the full moon of at the beginning of the month, you know, and around that full moon, because we are starting still in the Taurus phase, and that blue moon is in the house of marriage and relationships for Scorpio. You are crossed by the Hermit. So this has to do with wisdom and maturity really being exercised for you in the month of November. And the basis is the Page of Swords reverse. So you may have gotten some unexpected news that wasn't your favorite news. At the beginning of the month, end of October, beginning of November. What's leaving is the Four of Cups. This is a time of being bored. What could come into being? The King of Wands. We see a man taking positive action around mid-month. What will come into being? Justice reversed. So this looks like also around mid-month something is unfair. This could actually be, it could have to do with a literal lawsuit where things aren't seeming to go in your favor, or it could have to do more figuratively with just a situation in your life where there's an imbalance, unfairness, inequality. Fears or insecurities, the Queen of Pentacles. We see this is a woman around finances, a financial or a business matter. So for Scorpio women, this could be you, and for Scorpio men, there could be a concern with a woman in finances or business. And the other C, the Five of Pentacles reversed. So this is healing from an injury, spiritual or financial injury. Your positive feelings, the Nine of Wands reversed. So you're letting down your guard, it looks like, towards the end of the month, and maybe exploring new territory, leaving your territory, something like that, but you feel very positive about it towards the end of November. And then the outcome is the Eight of Swords reversed. This looks like liberation and freedom for Scorpio at the end of November from a situation that has been either making them feel trapped or giving them anxiety, or that they've been obsessing about mentally. There's going to be some freedom finally with that the lunar eclipse in Gemini at the end of the month, it looks like. And so that's the tarot overview for Scorpio for the month of November. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the planetary transits. So as we enter the month of November, we are fresh off the blue moon, full moon, October 31st on Halloween, that was expected to bring a big surprise, a big plot twist, both for the collective and in our individual charts in whatever house it showed up in. So as I record this October 28th, that big surprise hasn't happened, but we astrologers know that it's coming this weekend. And so as we enter the month of November, that's very much what the quality is, you know, surprise. And it's also Day of the Dead as we enter the month. The Day of the Dead started October 30th, but it goes till November 3rd. So the first 3 days of November, we're still in this very kind of mystical time of the year where, you know, the veil between the two worlds is the thinnest. You know, the ancestors are communicating with us. They're coming down to commune. Many people are having visions or signs or things like that that are happening, messages. And it's a great time to get a reading if you do have ancestors that you feel that you want to communicate with in a more clear way. I find the tarot to be an excellent portal for that kind of communication. So definitely contact me for a reading during those dates if that's something that you're interested in. And also I think the new moon of Scorpio, November 14th, is also a good date for that kind of thing in November. But yeah, so that's all happening at the very beginning of the month. Then November 3rd, Mercury stations direct in Libra. And Mercury, the planet of communication, the planet of mail and messages and travel and accounting and counting votes, that planet stations. It comes to a standstill on election day. And so, you know, I have been saying in my videos leading up to now that it's likely we won't find out who president is on election day, and that is something that now is coming out in the news, but we astrologers have been knowing that since, I don't know, since we've been seeing Mercury station direct on election day, which many saw even doing their 2020 reports, right, for the year reports. And so it's unfolding. And Mercury, I think that we'll find out more around November 20th when Mercury returns to the degree it was when it went retrograde in the first place, which is 11 degrees Scorpio. I've seen some astrologers looking at a date in December by another eclipse or something in mid-December, but I'm saying November 20th is my guess of when we're going to find out, when we'll kind of have the results of all the winners from the November election. But as Mercury stations direct, things just slow down with communication. Things come to a standstill. The counting is really slow. The lines are really long. You know, that's all kind of mercurial, like, stationing stuff. November 9th, Ceres moves into Pisces. Ceres is an asteroid. She's not a planet, but she has to do with an aspect of the divine feminine, which is motherhood and mothering and nurturing. And so for Scorpio, this is a trine alignment, which is supreme harmony, and she's going into your 5th house of children. So this is going to be a time, a very nurturing and motherly time for Scorpios who have children, a real time of bonding with your kids during this transit. For Scorpios who do not have children, or even for some Scorpios who do have children and who are also creatives, this is the house that rules our creative projects. So this is a time to really give some tender love and care to whatever your creative projects are, and also to you know, this is the house of pleasures, of joy, of sex, of hobbies, of games. And so, you know, it can run the gamut, it can run the scale for Scorpios, but these are the areas of life that we are nurturing and giving some extra tender love and care, and allowing ourselves to be nurtured in this area of our lives as well. And that's a beautiful house for that. I like that. I have a Scorpio moon. I'm here for it. And November 10th, Mercury enters Scorpio. And so now Mercury is on the move, you know, and we're still going over, you know, Mercury went retrograde originally October 13th in Scorpio. So now we're revisiting these things that maybe went haywire with our communication systems, or with the mail or correspondence, or with other people speaking. And, you know, all of those things are starting to clear up in our personal lives. And then with the collective probably as well, they're starting to get some clarity on winning, what happened to the lost male, whatever unfolded from all of that. So things are on the move, but as Mercury enters Scorpio, we're very intuitive, we're very instinct driven. There's still emotional communication being cleared up, things like that. November 12th, Jupiter forms the third and final conjunction with Pluto of 2020. The Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions have marked where we've seen surges in the virus. They've also marked great surges in power and wealth. And they've also marked great surges in conspiracy theories. The exact dates of that have been April 4th, June 30th, and now the third and final is November 12th. This is significant because I do believe that this is the most intense wave, because it's the last one, because it's at aspect with the Mars in Aries retrograde, which is a real fighting, inflammatory kind of thing. And so that's mid-month. Things really intensify mid-month. It's kind of like things come to a crescendo and they're going to get worse right before they start to get better, slowly but surely. November 3rd, Mars stations direct. When Mars is stationing, that's going to be, I think, a particularly heated, inflammatory, fighting time. Scorpio is Mars ruled, so Scorpios are really going to feel this on an intense level. Aries is in the house of health for Scorpio, and I would just say watch your anger, be careful, be mindful of your blood pressure for those who are dealing with things like that. And just be mindful of your physical space and your physical environment and your anger and your frustration. And how you channel that. Also, this could be about, just be mindful of, risks you're taking or things like that, because if you're being too daring or risk-taking at this time, it could lead to injury or accidents or things like that, cuts, scrapes, bruises. Just be careful. And it's not about being fearful, it's about being mindful. There's a big difference. And there's all of the bold and courageous and adventurous, daring Aries energy is beautiful, in the right, when we're mindful and we're channeling it in the right direction. November 14th is the new moon of Scorpio. So for Scorpio, this is your new moon. This is a time to reset. This is a time to set intentions for, the entire year ahead, but really around these Scorpio themes of reinventing yourself and rebirth and regeneration and transformation. And, you can set intentions around and reflect around topics like power as well. And, also, because it's the first house, set intentions around your body, around your identity, around your sense of self, around your self-expression. All of these are, first house, Scorpio, new moon things. And, the new moons, if you follow me, are rich and fertile cosmic soil to set the seeds, to plant the seeds of intention that we want to manifest in our lives. And so, and the new moon of Scorpio is a very magical, potent new moon, because Scorpio rules the occult and the unseen and the mysteries. And again, this is a new moon where it's a very powerful time to connect to the ancestors. And if you would like a reading with me, schedule that, because you can really access that kind of communication at this time of the year. In the early days of the month, the end of October, early November, and then also around this new moon are really potent days for that. November 20th, Mercury is finally out of shadow, also in Scorpio. So, this is clearing up communication. This is, finding the right words finally. This is all of those kind of communication themes finally clearing up that have been going on since October for Scorpio. And then November 21st, Venus enters Scorpio. So this is a really, beautiful time for Scorpio, this Venus transit. It's a very sexy time. It's a time where, Scorpio may be paying more attention to your appearance. You might be, feeling like just very sexy and beautiful and, you know, attracted to your mate. Or if you're not in a relationship, you may be finding a new mate that you're feeling very magnetized towards at this time. And the sun enters Sagittarius, also November 21st. So this is bringing, I think, a burst of faith and optimism and hope to the collective during this time. November 28th, Neptune goes direct. Neptune, I think, has been an underestimated player in the COVID pandemic story. And I think Neptune going direct is signaling a time where maybe behind the scenes at first, but things are starting to work themselves out. But it's a slow process. And I see the COVID cloud passing as Neptune returns, gets to the degree it was when it went retrograde in the first place, March 3rd of this year. And so, which is when all the shutdowns started being announced here in America. And so I think by March 21st, 2021, that cloud is being removed, whether by vaccine or treatment or some other thing that I can't see at this time, that will come into focus more clearly as we study and look at the 2021 year, which those videos are coming up. I'll be doing December, and I'll be doing the whole entire 2021 overview, and I'll be doing a January 2021 overview. So all of those videos are coming up. I'm going to be a recording mama. But yeah, and then finally, the last aspect that I wanted to talk about for November 30th is the full moon eclipse, prenumbral lunar eclipse in Gemini. And so for Scorpio, that's in the 8th house. That's the house of sex. It's the house of death, elimination, transformation, regeneration. It's also the house of other people's money. So that's the house that rules, settlements, debts, loans, alimony, wills, inheritances, all of those kinds of things. And so an eclipse, it can bring the shadow up in ourselves or others. Gemini is certainly communication, correspondence, talking, speaking, learning new things. The full moon is illumination. It's also culmination. So that 8th house is something to look at for the end of the month. And thank you for joining me, Scorpio. Have a wonderful November. If you like this video, give me a like. If you didn't like it, give me a don't like. Please follow me on Instagram at astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole. There, I'm doing more daily and weekly updates, filling in the details with more of the day-to-day transits that are happening and unfolding. And please subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Please share this video with other Scorpios. And please, please contact me for your own personal chart reading or transit reading, of course. I love to do it. I would love to do it for you. I can read for people anywhere in the country or the world. I read on Zoom. I put your chart up on the screen. I walk you through it. I can send you a recording afterwards. I love doing it. I would love to do it for you. And yeah, just have a wonderful November, Scorpio. We are through the roughest astrology of the year by the time we leave November. So congratulations. You are a survivor and a fighter, like we already knew about Scorpio. Bye.